We're talking about the weight of weight, right? The weight of weight. Write that in the chat. For y'all that's on here for the first time, Marcus Iron Dad. I dropped all of these on the YouTube page. Please go by Blessed Beats Media on YouTube to check it out. I put it right there in the chat. All of the ones that we've done in the past, including yesterday's, is up. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Even if you don't like the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 13,000. I'm at like 12,850 or something like that, but it's all good. The weight of weight. When I tell y'all, I'm in a season of waiting. Anybody else in a season of waiting, right? And I was very transparent on the radio, especially during the pandemic, that I had been diagnosed with anxiety back when I used to be a TV reporter at Fox, right? Panic attacks, all of that stuff, really like diagnosed, right? And then I had a season where it was just getting the best of me and I would have these sweat attacks, all of this stuff. But in the last year, I've learned to manage that joint. I've learned to call it out. No medications, none of that stuff, right? In the last year and a half, I think, right? So it's all good. But I still have like seasons of anxiety. Right now, I'm in right now while y'all staring at me, I'm in a season of a consistent panic attack since like Saturday. Like it ain't stopped at all. You might can't see it on me, but it ain't stopped. I woke up yesterday at 4. I woke up today at 3:30 without an alarm clock, right? Just woke up. If you watched the one yesterday, I was telling y'all how I normally wake up on my back looking at the ceiling, take a deep breath, ask God where I'm at mentally, and I come up with my devotion, right? The difference, I use my devotions for the Zoom now, so it's more in a broadcast style devotion, right? Still come with scripture, which I got scripture for today. But I woke up at 3:30 this morning, and I opened my eyes and I said, Lord, please let it be 6 o'clock, right? And it was 3:30, and I was like, man, I hate anxiety, right? I'm in a season of wait, right? And that's one of my triggers, that my brain gets so busy, and that's a lot of us. Our brains get busy. I call it busy brain, that it's working while you resting, so you wake up with stuff on your brain. Anybody wake up with stuff on their brain? That's what that is, busy brain, right? That's what I call it, right? You wake up, and your brain is already got a checklist. Today, I got to pick up the kid. I got to do this. I got a presentation. I got to send this email. Man, the light bill due. Oh, am I going to work out today? Like busy brain, going for it, right? So I wanted to start this off. Microphone is open. Why do we hate waiting? Because we all hate it. Anybody like waiting before I even accuse y'all, right? Anybody like waiting? Why do we hate waiting is my question. Anybody? Because I got a definition. I got my own. I'm gonna write. I'll tell y'all what it is.
Hey, Marcus, I want to say yes and no to waiting.
Okay, so why you don't like waiting?
I don't like waiting whenever it's something that I know is attainable quickly and I know it's within my reach, but there are blessing blockers there. And then why I do like waiting is sometimes I want to do things on my own accord, but I know if I did it when I wanted to do it instead of God's timing, it's not going to work out according to his favor and glory. So that's why I said yes and no.
I love it.
Because we want to wait for, yeah, I'm going to just leave it as that.
All right, the weight of weight, right? The weight of weight. So I wrote why we hate waiting, and I went on the streets of Google, right? 3:30 in the morning because of my anxiety. I'm on the streets of Google, and I wrote this first because the unknown. Because I'm agree with Adrian just put the fear of the unknown. What's up, Joe? Right. I put because the unknown breeds anxiety, which I told you I woke up with it this morning, right? So that anxiety quickly turns into annoyance, fear, and doubt, right? Break it down. Annoyance. When we at the grocery store and that person taking too long in front of you, I'm annoyed. I'm tired of waiting. You knew you was next. Get out your checkbook, old lady. Person. Right? Yes, right? Fear. Yes, yes. Anybody else fear of waiting? Because we like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Fear, waiting, doubt, waiting. You start waiting too long, we become what Genesis just said, impatient, basically. I doubt it. I don't know no more. I've been waiting so long. Anybody been waiting on something so long, you just give up? Like, man, I doubt it. I doubt they call. I doubt they call today. It's after 5. We've been waiting all day. Yes, yes, yes. Now, on this, okay, Joe says fear is the root cause of anxiety comes from fear. Facts. I agree. I agree. I'm telling you, I woke up this. Joe, you just got on. I've been in a constant panic attack since Saturday. You probably can't see it on me, but I've been there. I'm there, right? All right. So the streets of Google says it is generally accepted after having to wait for a certain amount of time, anxiety and stress start to build up in an individual. Anxiety and stress start to build up due both to the sense of waste and the uncertainty involved in a waiting situation. That's the streets of Google, right? I just put that's heavy, right? 3:30 in the morning, I put that's heavy. So what happens, y'all, Curtis, Inez, Marcus, what happens when you praying for something? God. And God, he say, wait, hold on, wait. Here's the thing. He don't say no. He say, wait. What happens? He didn't say no. He just didn't say yes yet either. He just said, wait, right? So I just put many of us are in that waiting season, right? Many of us are in that waiting season right now. And y'all know me, I've been talking on this joint. I can tell y'all reasons why I wake up with the busy brain. Y'all just tuning in. I was talking about the busy brain. When you wake up and your brain is 10 steps ahead of you, woke you up out of your sleep with all the stuff that you got to do today. I'm in a season of waiting. I'm waiting on the house to be built, right? And in that season of waiting, you got the bank, you got the loan people, you got all of these people. I don't know how many people had a house built. They tell you you can't spend nothing, and they're not playing. You can't buy nothing, right? Food, that's what you can buy. That's it. When you building, they watching your account. Like they watching you. At the end of a couple of weeks, you're gonna ask me, send me your bank statement, right? I'm in the season of just waiting. Can't buy a ticket, can't buy nothing, right? Not even on the credit card. Don't buy nothing, right? Anyway, I'm in the season of waiting on that. I'm waiting on, y'all know me, I'm waiting on what's going on with NGN. I don't know. Being transparent, Marcus, right? Credit freeze, you right? For me, it was partially a control issue. Waiting is a control issue, right? He says I had to learn to let go and let the situation be what's going to be. Facts. That's what we got to learn, right? So those are things I'm waiting on, right? I'm waiting on my studios to actually pop off, right? Built them in May. My studios fighting to keep his head up, right? Just waiting. So I got busy brain, right? So anybody want to share what they're waiting on right now? Because I actually put that in my notes. What are you waiting on? What you waiting on? Inez, what you waiting on? Deborah, how you doing? What you waiting on? Deborah, I ain't never seen you on here on thing.
I've been on here before, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, Deborah. What you waiting on? What we waiting on? Adrian, what you waiting on? Curtis, what you waiting on? Anybody want to share? You don't have to. I put this down. Go ahead.
I'll share, Marcus.
Go for it.
So I'm waiting on, the next go round for the pregnancy after losing the second one. They say after you lose the second one and have surgery, your rainbow baby is what it's called, is coming. So I'm waiting on that because my daughter's doing all of the signs of wanting a sibling. And I'm like, okay, Lord, you gave me a child, you took a child. Now what's next? So just waiting and still trying to understand the why, but I know that God may not reveal it. And then I was waiting for my director to come back because instead of filling in for him for 2 weeks, I ended up doing 3 weeks because he had caught COVID on his vacation. So I was like, okay, I was waiting to debrief with him on all of the things that had happened as I was filling in some of the director stuff for him without approving like anything major. So those are like two things I will share because there's quite a bit. And of course, waiting for the podcast to, come on with brand sponsors because I've been going hard in the paint. There's 770 episodes now, and I'm like, okay, God, you told me to be obedient and to do this thing. I started doing it as solo episodes, but God did give me a breakthrough last night, and I'm going to be really quick so someone else can share. So I do a radio show on Blog Talk Radio. I do it every 4 weeks, and I had not hit a championship since 2021. Last night, I had my second consecutive championship since 2021 with over 24 million folks tuning in worldwide. And at first, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this joint solo. And then 2 panelists decided to come through. So then it just became a God thing. And it was just so good. So many people are calling in saying, your topic on what is your life's purpose just really inspired me. And I was like, okay, God, I'm just going to rock out with this with people or without people. And it was just such a blessing. God moved it and shift the atmosphere last night. Like some of the songs that I queued up didn't even get played because we ended up playing like Fred Hammond and some other songs because we were just moved in spirit, y'all.
Man, listen, when she say she been obedient, that girl got 700 podcast episodes. I've been in radio 22 years. I ain't got 700 episodes. Woo! That girl been working. Hey, your season coming. All right. Y'all make sure Genesis drop before you get out the car. Drop that podcast on there because I know since last week you probably added 30 more. Sheesh. Right. All right. God is trying to grow something in us, y'all. When we're waiting, Adrian put clarity. Adrian, I know for us that's cool. For yourself, be specific. Clarity in what, right? Inez, you put increase in finances. To increase in finances, Inez, we got to do something different. We keep doing the same thing. These finances not growing, right? We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Lifting them weights, we're not getting stronger if we sitting right here. We got to add more to it, right? But God is trying to grow something in us, and depending on what that is, and I got something for you, Genesis. Depending on what that is going to determine how long we gonna wait for it, right? Right. So those people, I wrote this down. You waiting on a wife, you waiting on a husband, right? God may be working on us until we change something about us, until we mature, until we ready in that area, right? Thank you, Genesis. Thank you. Our podcast is right there, right? You waiting on your business to grow, me. Now, right, some of this stuff I'm writing because that's my devotion, but take me out and insert you, right? What you waiting on. And I put the exact same thing. You waiting on a husband, you waiting on a wife, you waiting on a business to grow until you change up some stuff, right? Until you change up some stuff, God you might have to wait, right? Until you mature in some certain areas. Joe, revenge class, until we change up some stuff, we might just be in a season of waiting, right? That's what I actually put. Now, we know we want a yes. We already know that. But here's another question. Would y'all rather, straight honest, drop it in the chat. Would you rather for God to say, no, Marcus, that ain't you? Or just wait? I ain't gonna tell you how long, my boy. Just wait. Or, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it, fam. What would you rather have, honestly? Because you could be waiting 15 years and you could be waiting 800 episodes, Genesis. It might be where you need to be. Who knows? Would you rather for God to say, no, this is not it? Or just keep waiting. Drop it in the chat, right? Until you change. I put that ... waiting until you change. Would you rather for God to say no or just wait until you change? Remember yesterday we were talking, all of us that stuck in our ways, all of us that got our own blueprint, all of us that know the answer already, all of us that got this experience, we done seen that. What if God said, just hold on until you change? Are you willing to go? Are you willing to just go say, okay, I'm changing, right? I would rather have heard, no, that's not it. Thank you, Deborah. Sometimes I'm waiting at a Greyhound to take the American Airlines flight, which is not coming there, waiting in the wrong location. Girl, you a preacher. You better preach with that metaphor. I love it, right? Right? Here's the thing. What happens in our waiting season? What happens in our waiting season? You feel stuck, right? Can't move, we stuck. Marcus, don't spend nothing. Credit freeze. You stuck when you waiting because we don't know what's about to happen. We just limbo, right? Here's another feeling. And I wrote this analogy down. You feel like you holding your breath when you waiting. Remember that lady in the line? Right? You feel like you holding your breath. Yes, yes, or no? When you waiting. Here, matter of fact, I wrote this. Y'all ever let out that sigh of relief when God bless us? Y'all know what I'm talking about. We come to a conclusion or something, we go, whoo! Yes, yes. Anybody ever did that? Let that air out?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
because we've been holding our breath, right? We have been holding our breath. I put this down. We only holding our breath until we get what we want. And then we get it and it's on to the next request. Yeah? Right? We get it and we like, okay, God, got it. Let's rock and roll. Right? God, I'm waiting on you. That's why we say stuff like, man, don't hold your breath. Right? But I'm sure I ain't not the only one. Genesis is not the only one that has let out that sigh of relief. Right? That person, when you in traffic, your exit right there, you feel like you can't move, right? You feel like you holding your breath, right? So what's the lesson? What's the lesson in that, right? God does not want us to hold our breath, real talk, while we wait. God does not want us to hold our breath at all, right? He wants us to trust and move in faith, right? Marcus, I know you waiting on your house. You know you can't buy nothing, but you could do stuff around here until you get it cracking, right? Nothing is learned. Nothing is learned from just holding our breath. Nothing is learned from just, when we just say this, I'm just gonna sit here and wait till God bless it. You know how people say waiting on God? There's a way you can wait and be active. But when we're gonna sit here, right, and wait for clarity and wait for our finances to increase, nothing is learned in that. There's no wisdom in that. There's no growth in just holding our breath, right? So what's the lesson learned in the wait? Drop it in the chat. What's the lesson learned in the wait? I put growth.
Patience,
What'd you say?
Patience, and a
Patient.
point of self-reflection, because you reflect on things that you go through while you're waiting. And I think also checking your posture too. Like, what's your posture like, physically as well as mentally when you're waiting?
Whew. Love it. I love that one. Check your posture. I put health. I put humbled is a lesson in your way. Development, right? We develop some things. Maturity while we waiting, right? Wisdom, strength, thank you. Yep. Appreciation. Curtis, I'm about to talk, Curtis. I'm about to talk. We got this thing in pledging, right? Let me put this last point on here. Trust in him is a lesson learned in the wait. Trust in him. Forgiveness is one. Thank you, Keisha. Right? Deborah said self-reflection. Yep. Appreciation is the one I put on here last, and I put it in all caps. When you wait for something and you get it and you learn your lesson, you appreciate it a whole lot better. In pledging, Curtis can rock with me on this. You can just sign a piece of paper and be in a fraternity. Yes, yes, Curtis. Or You can go through a process, right? You can pledge. I ain't gonna go too deep, right? But after you pledge, you're going to appreciate the bond that you got into a whole lot better than versus just signing that paper, right? Right. And this is why a lot of Curtis, well, I say it like this is why a lot of people get mad at people who just sign a piece of paper. But I'm ending it right there. Let me talk about this. If I just gave you a car, right? I had to get off of that, Curtis. If I just gave you a car, right? My son be riding with me and be like, Dad, my first car gonna be a Ferrari. I'd be like, oh, you better speak that, right? But if I just gave it to him, he gonna just get it, drive it, not really care, not really appreciate it, and be on to the next. Oh, but if he worked for that mug, or if he wait for it, if he have to grow and learn some stuff and mature before he get it, that appreciation, that trust in what he been praying for, it's gonna be on another level, right? I put this down. Y'all ever wonder why in some situations somebody else don't have to wait as long as we do for the same thing? Anybody ever wonder that, right? We've been waiting on a job, right? We've been on this job for so long and we waiting on this promotion that somebody walk through the door and get the job. We mad. Y'all ever wonder why that? Anybody?
Yep. Used to wonder that.
Oh, I mean, and here's the thing. Everybody growth process, God is working on the inside of us, trying to teach us, grow us, right? Develop us. And we all do it at different speeds. I was thinking about how long does it take a horse to give birth versus a person, versus a kangaroo, versus a, you know what I mean? Y'all realize a kangaroo take 42 days. 42 days. My women on here who got children, 9 months, hopefully 9, longer, short, right? Like it takes longer to develop, right? So somebody might get this blessing, the same one you asking for before you, because we are in a different developmental stage, right? Here's a sidebar that I actually wrote, and I actually was laughing in my panic attack moment. I actually wrote sidebar. We only notice when somebody ain't got to wait that long in front of us. We never notice, or rarely, that person that been waiting longer than us. Because when you the person that apply for the job and walk through the door and get it, you don't ever go down the hallway and be like, how long? Hey, was you trying to get this job? How long you had to wait? We don't ever do that. Right? You pull up at the grocery store on a Sunday on the 1st and everybody in all the parking spots, and you pull up and one bag it out, you pull right in, and that other person done circle the parking lot 40 times. You don't ever. We say stuff like what? Favor ain't fair. Right? Yes. Anybody ever said, I do it every day at the gym. I pull up, and somebody pull it out, I do not care how long you've been going around this parking lot for that spot. I got it. Favor ain't fair, right? That's just my analogy on that. What happens if that developmental stage is cut off, right? What happens, y'all, if in our waiting, we don't wait long enough for it, right? What happens if we get what we want and we're not ready for it? 9 times out of 10, we don't sustain it. We don't appreciate it, right? It might not even be healthy. You get some food too early. You cooking some food, you take it out too early. It might not even be ready, right? This is why we say stuff like God's timing is so perfect, right? Well, that's why we say, man, that was right on time. No matter how long we've been waiting, when that joint come through, that mug right on time. Yes.
Yes. And they
Here's
also say
Yes.
the
Go for it.
Kairos time. Oh, you want to go, Deborah?
No, I was just getting my yes in.
Yeah. Go ahead, Judy.
So they also say the Kairos time, which is God's appointed time, and the Chronos time. So sometimes people say, what time are you in? Are you in Chronos time, meaning man's time, or are you in the Kairos, meaning God's time? Because
And
sometimes man's time is not the same as God's timing, and that's okay. Because when God comes through, it's going to be bigger and better than what we wanted to do within our own natural time.
love it. Here's another thing. Just made me think about it. Waiting season don't mean a punishment, and it don't mean you're not ready either. It can mean that you're not ready. Here's another thing. Y'all ever put it into this perspective? Why are we waiting, Inez? Why are we waiting, Adrian? It can actually mean the world not ready for us. Think about
That
that.
part.
Think about that. That's how powerful God is. God could be literally covering you like, nope, if I let you do this right now, it ain't finna pop. Right? They not ready for this. Let me protect you. And when that time right, and because we miss that joint, right? We don't even think about some of the stuff. We go job to job, job to job, or business to business, boom, boom, boom. None of them work. And then this one, another idea that we had 5 pages down, pop. God could have been saying, yep, this one not ready yet. You can't do this one first. This one, if you do it right now, it ain't gonna work. So we got to look at it like, man, sometimes God, you might be protecting me. You might be making me wait because they not ready, right? That's sovereign. That's love, right? God can be protecting us until the right time to be revealed. I had to give us a scripture because we do this with scriptures, and I did this whole devotion on the panic attack, and I got to the end, and I was like, Lord, give me a scripture. And Inez, where you at? Adrian, where you at? Galatians 6:9. Some of us, we know that one. We know that one. That's one of them VBS joints, right? And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up, right? Because in waiting season, things that we want to do in the waiting season, let me know. We want to quit in the waiting season, yep. We want to change courses in the waiting season, yep. We start to doubt in the waiting season, yep. And some of us just give up in the waiting season. Here's the thing about that, y'all. While I'm talking about waiting on my studios to prosper, while we're talking about Genesis podcast to take off, right? It says in due season. The only reward we gonna get in waiting season is if we keep going. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you. Hold on. Thank you, Inez. Marcus put, it took me almost 3 years to recover from my job loss during the shutdown. I was at one of the lowest moments of my life, so low, I was forced to change. On the way out of the valley, I grew each step, and when I finally got the job, I'm sitting there right now, I couldn't be more grateful. Man, bro, if God had gave you a job the day you walked out, you'd have thought you'd have been like, cool, but you wouldn't have appreciated it like you do now. You went through a season of, I know what it's like not to work, so I appreciate this joint, right? So that's all I got. Yeah, I love the end of Galatians 6:9, right? It says, in due season, we will reap. So while we got the weight of a wait, let's not hold our breath, right? Let's not get impatient. Let's not have doubt. Let's not create the anxiety, Marcus, right? Me, Marcus, sorry. Let's not have the fear, right? In due season. Let's not be stagnant. When we drop that stuff that we're waiting on, my people, right? Revenge Classics, you and I had that conversation. And your season, your product might not be moving over here. Let's not stay and just wait. Let's move, let's find out where else we can go, right? Right? Let's not hold our breath. God does not want that. He wants us to develop, do some things different. We waiting on a husband, we waiting on a wife. We got to change some stuff, right? Right? I would hate, Lord, I would hate for wifey to pull up on me right now the way I am. This kitchen right here. I got to get out of here, and I had some breakfast I cooked and I left some stuff out. So I got to get that up, right? But Inez put yes, yes, right? You waiting on a husband, yo, you might have to change some stuff, right? Think about this with this last 2 minutes. We say we want some stuff, y'all. This is not even part of my devotion. We say we want some stuff. Imagine if your wildest dream, the wild one, the one that you don't even believe, popped off. Oh, we're gonna be hyped. We're gonna be excited. Are we really ready for that? Or is God preparing us for it so that as it gradually comes, we understand it? Ask that person who hit that lottery, how crazy they go for that first 6 months, 3 months. We really ready for that? Right? Because think about it, right? If I gave everybody right now 15 million, who going crazy first? Who going crazy first? Me? Oh, I'm about to go get some stuff first, and then I'm gonna get my mind together. Oh, please believe. They told me I can't spend. I'm going ham. Never mind. Sorry. Right? But anybody else? Like think about if you became, I'm gonna pay my bills. Facts, you're gonna pay your bills, but you're gonna do some other stuff too. Act like you're not. Keisha, act like you're not. But if I just gave you enough to cover your bills right now, you just gonna pay your bills. I'm talking about your wildest dreams. Oh, you going crazy. We're gonna pay them bills, but we're gonna go crazy too. Right? And I got a minute left. Check this out. That's just like tithing, which is not on here, right? Right? Some people say this, man, if I had more, I'll tithe. No, you won't. Who you fooling? You ain't tithing on what you got. So let's not play that game. I say that to people all the time. People be like, man, I just ain't got it right now. But when I get it, I'm a tithe. Okay.